Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I haven't seen a lot of buzz about. Like usual, the Jordan brand is giving us a lot of fire releases here around the holiday season, but I kind of feel like this OG is going a little under the radar. I saw these for a reasonable price on GOAT, and I figured I'd go ahead and grab an early pair and let y'all know what I think of them. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Jordan 2s in the Chicago colorway. It is officially official that the crappy winter weather is here. I apologize for the construction noise. I think with the colder weather coming that they're just trying to get as much done on those houses across the street as they can. This is a GS size 7. It's more affordable than a men's size 7, and really I just wanted to get my hands on a pair so that I could make a review before they come out. I think retail for these is going to be around $150, and I got these for real close to retail on GOAT. So the tag reads Air Jordan 2 Retro. The colors are white, Varsity red, and black. I think the adult pairs are coming in a box similar to how they came originally, with a Jordan Wings logo that kind of folds down over to the front of the box. Like I said in the intro, there's always a lot of heat dropping around the holiday season, but I'm surprised I don't hear people talking about these more. I really like the look of these. I think they're really classy looking. I think with the Jordan 2, they definitely went with more of like a lifestyle type shoe as opposed to a performance type shoe. I think that these were designed in Italy. These kind of are unlike any other Jordan that has ever been made when it comes to like the Jordan Retros. And really, as far as the style goes, there's never been one to look like this. This was probably Jordan's least played in retro silhouette, and I think once Tinker Hatfield came along with the 3, I think everybody kind of just forgot about these. However, I really like this. I think it's classy looking, and although it's not really a performance type shoe, I think it's real easy to style with. I just think the plain simple lines and the shape of these, I'm just really feeling these. I definitely want to get a pair in my size whenever they drop. Before this pair, the only pair of 2s I've ever owned was the Union 2s from earlier this year, and that was one of those W's that I think kind of ended up being an L. The drop was horrendous. Everybody was going after them, but I ended up getting a pair from the Union drop, and I kind of like the style of them, but I haven't worn them at all. It's not really a shoe that I feel like I have to have in my collection or anything. Right now, they're still sitting downstairs just because I don't want to take that big of a hit on a pair of kicks. So I don't know what I'll do with them. Looking at the outsole, they definitely give you retro vibes. You do have that pivot point in the front. You have some Nike branding here towards the back of the shoe there in the middle. And that kind of reminds me of like an Air Trainer outsole, but you can also see the size there. I think these colors are really nice. Definitely a classy look, definitely retro vibes, and I'd imagine that they perform pretty well. But like I said, I haven't owned a pair of 2s before. The only pair of 2s that I have is the Unions, and I haven't even thrown them on feet yet. As far as colors go though, this is tough to beat with the white, black, and Varsity red. But then coming up to the midsole, it's actually just really plain. It's a smooth midsole. It's really dense feeling. It doesn't really give way too much whenever you squeeze on it, and it looks like that's just all painted black. I just really think that these have a classy look, very simple lines. They're kind of understated, they're not too flashy, and I think they'd be easy to pull off. Here in the back, it kind of reminds me of like a Forum 84 or like a New Balance 550 because it's got this hard plastic that comes up. First it's white in color, but then it meets this red, and it almost feels rubberized, I guess. It's not really like a super hard plastic. It kind of feels like a pretty rigid rubberized material. But I like that accent. And that white material wraps up almost halfway up the front of the shoe. But then as we get to the upper, we've just got this white smooth leather. This kind of reminds me of Jordan 3s, just the way you have this smooth piece, this overlay that runs back the front of the shoe. And that's just all bright white. Really, the whole upper is nothing but bright white. You get the double rows of stitching there, and that looks nice and clean. And it's got a decent feel. It's not like real buttery or anything, but it's not the worst I've felt. But that's just really smooth. Then underneath of that, you've got this really neat texture on this overlay. And I like how that's bright white, but just the texture is way different on it to make it stand out a little bit. That almost looks like overly tumbled or something, but it really just switches up the texture, and I like that look. But then for the base of the shoe, you've got more white smooth leather. You have this nice single row of perforations that goes all the way around. And again, it's just got a really classy look. One thing that I didn't realize is on these smaller sizes, you've got 3 of these eye stay loops, these plastic hits on the eye stays, but on the adult pairs, you have 4. Shout out to Jay the Sneaker Guy. I didn't even know that there's a difference like that, but small pairs have 3, the bigger adult sizes have 4. You've got more white leather up here around the collar, and then here in the middle of the back of the shoe, you've got a black, feels like synthetic leather with a red Nike hit. And I think that's nice, simple, clean, and classy looking. They gave us black laces in these, and they didn't come with any extras. But underneath of that, you have just a plain white tongue. And that feels pretty synthetic. It does seem like that creases up really easily. I think that's the most synthetic feeling part of the shoe. But then for the tag, you have this overlay. This is actually really soft leather up here at the top, this white leather. And in the middle of that, you have like a rubberized wings logo that says Jordan there at the top. And I really like the way that that looks. But this leather is nice. This feels like what we have on the collar of the shoe as well, which is a really decent material. But the rest of the tongue really feels synthetic. So I wish they would have used softer, higher end leather on the whole tongue, but it's under the laces, so that doesn't really matter too much. At the top of the tongue, it looks like we have some black piping going along the edges for a nice border effect. And the sock liner is also black, and it's like that fuzzy type material. Feels like a soft cotton or like sweatpant material or something. And it also looks like the insole is black with some white Nike Air branding. I'm not sure the exact date that these are dropping. I'm pretty sure it's in December. I will definitely be trying to get my own size of these. I think it's really wearable. I don't think it's a shoe for really playing basketball in. I mean, I guess you could, but I think this will just be a nice, simple, classic looking shoe that'll be easy to pull off. I just like how clean looking they are. Like, they're not too busy, there's not a whole lot going on, they just have real straight lines, and I really like that style. And not to mention, it's a Chicago colorway, so that's hard to go wrong with, you know. But anyhow, let me know what you all think about these. Let me know if you'll be going after them whenever they drop, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.